This is how I start every video. I realizing that my glasses are filthy and I can't see anything. Greetings, fellow skaters and makers and tinkerers and artists and people who are watching YouTube and you don't know why, but you've been doing it for hours because it's easier than addressing your emotional problems head on. You're my people and I love you and thank you for tuning in. So I want to slide. So I need a grind block. Here's the problem. There's a number of problems. The first problem might be mostly my problem in that I have all the wrong skates. Right? The second problem I have heard a lot of people having, and that's that in the pandemic, when we're all sent home and kicked out of workplaces, everybody started roller skating, which means every skate part, every skate accessory flew off shelves, and it's all back ordered until the year 3000. I can't get them. I couldn't slide if I wanted to slide. I can't get them. So what am I to do? Being crafty and what was the other word I was trying to come up with? Being impatient. I'm gonna do it myself. Let's bring it in. So let's take a look at the problem. Well, let's take a look at the solution. Right here is my daughter's skate. Give you the branded side. She's got the good old CIB. These things are everywhere. Chicks and Bowls produces a really excellent, solid grind block made of a self-lubricating polymer, and you just bolt it in. It's pretty easy, and it involves popping these nuts off of your kingpins, removing the hardware, sliding in a plate, and that plate looks like this. Okay, that's it. That's the whole thing. This just has two bolts which snap to your plate in the middle, and you're in business. I keep calling it a plate, but it's a bracket. It's not your skate plate. So I had some scrap metal around, so it was easy to make some quick brackets. I just drilled a hole in it. If you're patient and you use some cutting oil, it works just fine. I need a drill press. I can't believe I have all these tools and I don't have a drill press. That's why I need a drill press. Clean. Crooked because I'm not paying attention, but a nice clean hole. This is for demo purposes. All right. So I just measured and then I need to cut in here. And I've got my slot. Again, I can cut that whole thing down to be a little bit narrower band if I want. And then I have to cut the metal, and you can cut with a hacksaw, and it would definitely do the job. And these are cheap; you can buy them at Ace, but it's pretty slow and annoying. And if you have an angle grinder, why not do it the fun way? So this is a cutting wheel mounted to my angle grinder, and it goes through this like butter, and I can make it look just how I want it. I thought one of the hard parts of this project was going to be the slide material, the block material, but it's HDPE, and it turns out you can order it online and it's cheap. HDPE is high density polyethylene, and it turns out that's what cutting boards are made out of, and also the bushings in pivoting parts. So this is perfect material for sliding. And you know I'm all about precision, so I use this very precise bucket to mark my slide block radius for that cutout. I don't know. I looked at a bunch of different slide blocks, and they've got different shapes, different curves. Some of them sort of V in, some of them cup the coping a little bit tighter. I tried to look at my skate and then draw a line sort of between the between the space that felt like it was going to be a good fit. And I might tighten this up on future models, but I actually have gotten to test this out a little bit, and it feels pretty good so far. You have to start somewhere, and I don't know. More engineering wouldn't have made me more sure that it was the right curve, so I grabbed a bucket. Starting to look like a slide block, and I have a bonus wedge thingy that I get to play with later. I still have to knock this corner off because I've got the kingpins leaning in at a pretty good angle, and I want some clearance there so I'm not interfering with anything. So I matched that angle best I could and slapped it on, and then did some more trimming. I kind of love the little squiggles that always come off of any material like this. I probably could have put this in a vise or in a clamp at the very least. It would have been a little stable, but it's a pretty easy material to drill because it's pretty soft. This is the shakiest footage I've ever shot, and it's just because my vise is out on the corner of the table where there's a lot of vibration. The point of that paddle bit is to make sure I can get a washer on there and then lower the hardware so that it's not going to catch when I'm on that slide. And I need to make sure the hardware that I've gotten is long enough that it goes through the types of plates that I'm going to use. I use the same 5/16 nut that goes on to hold your wheels on so that I don't have too many different types of hardware. At this point, I needed to clean it up. And I just did a really rough cleanup to round the edges that were on there. I'm not reshaping anything dramatically. I just wanted to make it look better, essentially. This is pretty much all aesthetic. I could have taken a hand sander to this. I'm just doing this real quickly to take that sharp edge off. Ba-bam. All right, so it looks like a slide block. I made one. At least I think I made one. I guess I'll find out when I start sliding on it. So my skate comes with a washer. It's a hex washer, but it's still just a washer. And the plate that I'm adding adds a lot of thickness. It's going to lift the kingpin assembly a little higher. So I swapped out the washer for a much thinner washer. And then when I put the cushions back on, I didn't put the cap that supports the bottom of the cushion on. And that helped get me the right geometry when I assemble the kingpin and all the cushions again. So cap the top, pop a bolt on, and I'm in business. All right, there you go. That's how I made my own slide blocks, and they work great in terms of feeling solid, feeling secure on the rail, except that's about all I can do is a stall now or then. So next move is to figure out how to actually slide down that rail without dying. We'll have to make another video to show any progress there. But at least now I've got some blocks and I could get going on that practice. All right, let me know if you try this, or if you want to try it, or if you think I'm crazy. Let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Grind blocks or slide blocks. I've heard, I don't know if it's true, it was on the internet, so it must be true, right? I've heard that going like this, that's a slide. Going like this across the trucks, that's a grind. Is that a skateboard world thing? Somebody break that down for me. Is it regional? Does it matter? I just want to make sure we're communicating.